Hello everyone, Ewan from Elixir Experts here. Today I'm going to discuss potential issues using the Windows time slice method of delay analysis in dispute resolution, and why it is potentially used by some parties. As demonstrated in my first video, I highlighted that the Windows time slice method of delay analysis might prove unreliable in dispute resolution if the programs upon which it is based are unreliable. This could be in the form of inaccuracies in the program activity's durations, logic, or progress reporting. Therefore, you need a reliable series of contemporaneously updated programs reflecting the true status of the works throughout the course of the works. For each time slice, this includes the analyst verifying that the historical components reflect the actual progress of the works, and the analyst verifying that the program's future sequences and durations for the works are reasonable, realistic, and capable of achievement. Since delay is measured to the forecast completion date, this method assumes that the outstanding work is completed in accordance with the program update at the time. Subsequent updates may take account of further changes and delays, but this does not always reflect how the outstanding works would have been carried out in previous windows. It is important to note that program updates show the critical path at the end of the window, which may not show what the critical path was during the window. Therefore, it is important that the delay analyst takes account of the critical path at the start of the window, during the window, as well as at the end of the window. An extension to this is that critical delays can be incorrectly identified during the window or overstated if the critical path has switched out of an activity claimed to be critical during the window, meaning critical delay caused elsewhere may be attributed to the wrong activity. Windows should also be at suitably granular intervals, because if they are too large in duration, the analysis can hide what was truly critical within the window by bypassing periods of time when other matters were critical and causing delay. Indeed, windows are commonly identified at monthly intervals, and attention should be given if particular months or intervals are omitted from an analysis. Where multiple delays occur simultaneously, these may not be adequately detailed in the programs, making it difficult to capture concurrent delays, which can lead to an oversimplified view of project delays. It is likely that the analyst will need programs in their native electronic format to carry out a Windows time slice analysis, as there will be potentially thousands of activities to update in a suite of programs that might span several months to several years. If one party does not have the programs in a native electronic format, it can mean the party has to replicate the programs manually, which might be impractical and/or expensive. Furthermore, replicating programs manually carries a significant risk, as they are unlikely to exactly reconcile with the original programs, and this can mean any results diverge from the results of an analysis using the original electronic programs. So, why do parties use this method of delay analysis? Firstly, it is recognised in the Society of Construction Law's Delay and Disruption Protocol, 2nd edition, February 2017, as a legitimate method of analysis. If the programs are reliable, and if it is performed properly, then it can be a robust method of delay analysis and dispute resolution. Secondly, it could be mandated by the contract as the method for assessing delay, and as such, a party may be obliged to use this method to assess delay. The Windows time slice method of delay analysis can allow a sufficiently detailed granular analysis of the project timeline by breaking the program down into discrete periods of time, typically monthly, that allow the critical path and critical delays to be considered at or near the time when they occurred. This improves the reliability of this method over some other methods in dispute resolution. The Windows time slice method of analysis is based upon contemporary programs, i.e. programs that are produced at the time, and hence they can represent what parties consider to be the true position at the time before any dispute might arise. To this extent, the contemporary programs may represent a more reliable record than records produced after the event or after a dispute has arisen, which can be influenced by external factors. It can be readily developed from good site and project management practices. Indeed, if a contractor has submitted programs on a monthly basis, it should be highlighting delays arising to the project as the work progresses. This information can be further developed into a formal analysis required for dispute resolution. The windows can be selected so as to only analyse relevant timeframes of the project without unnecessarily burdening assessors with irrelevant parts of the project. For example, if a project progressed as planned in 2023 but delays occurred in 2024, then it may only be necessary to analyse the project in 2024. By breaking the project down into windows, it is easier for third parties to understand how a limited number of activities are being affected, as opposed to having to grapple with the progress of thousands of activities in the overall programme. This allows the findings to be presented in a simpler and more persuasive manner too. Finally, by considering progress and any delay in windows, areas of agreement or disagreement in windows can be recorded to narrow any differences between two parties in dispute, which might mean the smaller differences can be resolved through negotiation. It's important to note that while the Windows time slice method of delay analysis can have flaws, it can be a valuable tool and reliable in dispute resolution when used appropriately, and in conjunction with other investigations to provide a more comprehensive understanding of project delays. That's it for now. Have a great day.